Shit, then.
Uh, hey, everybody. Welcome back to Red Road Paranormal. I am one of your two hosts. My name is Kristina Bloom. I am an Alaskan descendant, I believe, of the Aleut tribe, but I am currently tribally unaffiliated. I'm also a psychic medium and a member of the Adirondack Park Paranormal Society, an author. I got a lot of stuff going on, but I'm going to hand it on over to Rez and let him introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Bobbie RezNeck Calkins, member of Wisconsin CAPS. That's Cryptids and Anomalies in the Paranormal Society. I'm a paranormal investigator, cryptid investigator, enrolled member of the Stockbridge Muncie tribe. All around good guy for the most part.
I'll go along with that. So, this is our 12th episode, and we have not actually properly introduced ourselves to you guys. So, we wanted to let you know, I guess, a little bit more about us, a little bit more about why we're doing this, why we chose this particular genre, I guess. Is that the right word? I don't know. Um, but anyway, so that's what we're doing here. We are just talking about what's important to us as far as the paranormal, as far as honoring our heritage and the heritage of all Indigenous people and all people in general, but definitely of all Indigenous people. And where do you want to start, Rez?
Man, that's a mouthful there.
Kinda,
You
yeah.
know, I, honestly, I'm happy we've made it this far.
Yeah, I know.
I'm happy we have as many viewers as we do.
Yeah.
Every time I see the stats, they keep going up, and it's a good feeling. So thank you all. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for all
Yeah.
those that take the time to tune in, that take the time to give us feedback. I
I
love it, and I
second
love
that.
all of you.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
second that wholeheartedly. Thank you for saying that. I know we have some people where if I'm late posting the videos on YouTube, I hear about it. I get
yeah,
messages.
we do. You
Yeah,
know,
we
we
both do. Yeah, it's 4 o'clock.
yeah,
Where's my Red Road Paranormal?
you know,
And I
so
love it. I love it. Thank you all so much for the support that you've given us as we have started out on this venture. And yeah, so I guess we're 3 months in.
you know, yeah,
We weren't sure we were going to
time
get three
flies.
weeks in.
It's been an uphill struggle.
Some
It's
days.
when you have a new project like this that is just such like a little baby, you never
Hmm.
know what day to day is going to happen, especially when you're trying to run your day to day life and other projects and opportunities you have going on, and then
Right,
making this still happen.
right. Because
We've
this is
managed,
something yeah, this is definitely something we do on the side, both of us.
yeah,
And it's not that it's not important, but it doesn't pay the bills yet. So,
yeah,
invite your friends. Um,
yeah, right,
hit that subscribe button, ring that bell. Come on, people. Um,
yeah, yeah,
but I do want to say thank you all so much for the support because you give us incentive to keep going, and we have had some really phenomenal guests already, some amazing guests, and some amazing information going out. And boy, I mean, I just looked over at my whiteboard, and we have into March so many more really amazing guests scheduled that
yeah.
I'm really excited about. Some of them I haven't even met yet because you have invited most of the guests, and wow, you're doing a great job. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And we also have some of the guests that already been on the show have already reached back to me, going, "Hey, when can I come back on?"
Oh, that's
So
great. That's great.
you're gonna get to see some of our biggest viewed videos. Them guests come back. They
Mm-hmm.
want to come back and chat with us.
They do.
So
They
I've been
do.
kind of holding off, trying to just keep new people coming in and keeping it fresh for all you out there that are watching and listening. But there's gonna be time where we get other people come back that are our friends also.
Right.
Those that are in the community of the paranormal world or the metaphysical world
Mm-hmm.
that are really backing what we do.
Right. And also, you guys, if there's someone that you would like to see come on or a topic that we haven't discussed yet, I know we've seen we went on a Bigfoot run there for a while. Like
Yeah,
we had a lot
us
of Bigfoot
natives,
shows.
us natives seem to like to want to talk about Bigfoot a lot.
Yeah, definitely, but if there's something else that you guys think is important that we should be talking about, but we haven't, please let us know. Let us know what you want to hear about. Let us know who you want to hear it from.
Yeah, we'd be happy to bring anybody on.
Yeah,
Even if it's a topic we've already touched and you have someone that you can refer to us as a different thought or a different belief in that topic, by
right.
all means, this is a safe community that's open, a platform that's open for anyone to come on and talk about these things. I know we've had comments on some of the videos about how, well, other people believe certain things about certain topics, and I've welcomed them to come on to our podcast and explain that,
Right.
because not every tribe has the exact same representation of the same supernatural and paranormal events.
Right.
You
Exactly.
So some
It's
some might be dark, some might be lighthearted, some could be very similar, but big, huge changes.
mm-hmm.
So that's why one of the things that what I like about what we're doing is I'm learning more about other tribes other than my own
Oh,
from
same.
all across Turtle Island.
Absolutely. All across Turtle Island. And it, like I said, I mean, if you have something you want to hear about, let us know. We'll
Yeah,
find somebody if you don't hand us somebody.
we,
We'll
we
find
might be,
somebody.
yep,
Yeah.
we might
What
be the
is with this?
mouthpieces. I gotta
Every
go
time I
kiss your
talk to Rez,
husband
my nose itches. What the heck? All right.
because you're supposed to be kissing your husband more. What you kissing a fool?
I'll tell him you said that.
Yep, he needs more kisses.
He needs more kisses. Yes.
So start kissing him before you come on, so your nose won't itch while we're on.
Yeah, there we go. It's crazy. Like every time we get on here, my nose itches. Um, and I forgot what I was going to say. I really did have something intelligent to say, and now it's like poof, gone, and I'm bright red.
Yep, it happens. I know a
Anyway,
lot of our conversations see me over here thinking, and I'm thinking, and then all of a sudden something will distract and be like squirrel moment. Where were we?
yeah, I know, right? It's like, whoa,
Yeah.
wait, what? Yeah, I am excited about learning more about other Native communities as well, other tribes, other groups, other areas. Um, I would love to find someone who is like from a Polynesian or Hawaiian background.
Yes.
I would love that. So if you guys know anybody who fits that bill and would love to come on and talk to us about their native lore and legends and paranormal, bring them on. I would love to
Yep.
talk to those people. I think
You
that'd be
know,
amazing.
I actually I'd like to start talking to more of the medicine men and women out there
Hmm.
too
I would too.
about the natural remedies, about the different spiritual ceremonies and all that, just to
Hmm.
kind of to learn more.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Now you said that and somebody popped into my head, so we'll talk later. Um,
All right.
yeah. Oh my gosh. Ah, does somebody have a cure for an itchy nose?
Keep it up, and I'm gonna have to demand a redo.
I know. Anyway, um, I would also like to talk to people who have more experience maybe with star people.
Yes.
I know we touched on that early on, but I think I would like to talk with people who know more about or have had more contact or,
Yep.
yeah, with star people.
Yeah. I've watched a couple of videos lately that talk a little more about the natives and the star people, and they all have their own legends and stories
Hmm.
that go with it.
Right.
And it intrigues me.
Hmm.
So that's something that I'd like to hear more
Yeah.
of. The old stories.
Yeah, that intrigues me too. Especially what's coming to light in our current environment where, it's just become accepted that have visitors from other planets. But I
Yep.
would like to talk to some of the indigenous people who have stories from old and moving forward. the
Yep.
old stories and moving forward. I would love to hear about that. And I'd love to share it with you guys because let's face it, we are not alone in the universe. We all know it now.
Yep.
Some of us have known it all along, but we all know it now. And so I would love to hear some of that and some of those experiences. What else would you like to learn about?
You know, I'm all over the boards when it comes about wanting to learn.
Okay.
Um, some of the old cryptids. You know, I'm not a big cryptid guy. I'm more of the paranormal side of things.
Right.
I'm the ghosts and demons and all that stuff. But I'd like to hear more of the cryptid encounters that the tribes have had over the years with different cryptids out there. You
Okay.
know, lately I've been wanting to learn more about the dogman. You know,
Oh, yeah.
that's something that's kind of really intrigued me that, we have here in Wisconsin. We have reports up in Michigan and all over the country.
Hmm.
And I'd like to hear the native side of the stories
I would love to
because
too.
I have a feeling that he dates back way back, just like, Bigfoot does.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. There was something else, and I was just thinking about it that I wanted to touch on as far as oh, it just left my head. I get so annoyed when that happens. It just went,
Because it wasn't meant to be.
oh, apparently not. Um,
There goes the itchy nose again.
I know, right? But talking about you had mentioned ceremonies, and I know that a lot of ceremonies are kept secret. Well, they're
Yep.
kept. I don't know if secret's even the right word. They're kept sacred.
Yep.
And I think it's important to keep them sacred. Um, but I would love to hear someone come on and talk about a medicine man or a medicine woman or both, and talking about vision quest and the
Yep.
importance of a vision quest and what that does for people, and why everybody should take that kind of time away just by themselves and their higher power. I'd love to hear other people. I would love to hear the people who facilitate those come on
Yep.
and talk about those, because I think it's so important, and I think it's something that we have kind of walked away from in all of society, native and otherwise, where we just don't take the time to go within ourselves. And then we spend the rest of our lives trying to fix what we could have just avoided by doing that in the first place.
Yeah. As a culture, we spend
Yeah.
our time too much in this right here and not
Yep.
in here
Yeah.
or in here.
Hmm. And it's not just in the phones, it's in other
Yeah.
distractions too. There's always distractions. And what it's like for people to take time away from distractions and just I've done them, so I know what I know what I benefited from it. But when you just stop for 4 days and just sit and pray and meditate for 4 days, it changes you. It changes your life for sure.
Yep.
And I would love to find someone who's willing to come on and talk about the importance of that. Um, the herbs and stuff. Yeah, I need to write that down. I need to write down somebody's name right now. Hold on a second.
You go right ahead. Take your notes. I got my pen right here, waiting
Uh-huh.
for. I don't know if they've ever noticed that usually while we're recording, you'll see me kind of do something off to the side here. That's
Mm-hmm.
usually me taking a note for
Yeah.
future reference.
I like the notes for future reference. That's good. Um, I There was something else that I was thinking that I would love to share with people or have people share with us. And because this is a pre-recorded broadcast, we're not getting feedback right now. But I will be
Yeah.
very interested in reading the feedback after we
Yeah.
post this one. Um,
Yeah. We do check our comments.
we do.
Believe it
We
or not,
check
we
our
do.
comments. Yes.
You know, if you got something you want to say, if you want to leave a comment, or you can message us right on the Red Road Paranormal page right on Facebook.
Right.
You know, we do respond to all our messages. Usually I'm the one that responds when I have time. Christina, when she's not busy, because she's a very, very busy lady,
I do a lot.
pops in from time to time and will catch one before I do.
And then I just confuse him by answering it first.
Right. Like, I don't remember typing that. Christina.
Right, because it just shows up as Red Road Paranormal responded.
Yeah.
So good luck. You're getting one or the other of us, but usually Rez. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, the other thing that I want to talk to somebody about the food, the indigenous foods that we can only find now at powwows, apparently.
Well, old corn soup is one of them.
Yeah,
I
fry
look
bread.
for, well, I can make that at home anytime. So,
That's true. That's true.
but, someone else's fried bread usually tastes a little bit better because you ain't got to spend all that time in the kitchen.
Right?
Not everyone's, but
Not
some of them.
everyone's, but some of them. Yeah. Just but again, along with the natural herbs, the natural foods,
Yeah.
and the diet, I guess that I'm not coming up with the right words, I don't think, but I know having lived, around a greater native population that they eat differently, or at least used to on the reservation. There's a different way of eating, and there's a different way of honoring the food.
Yeah.
And I think that comes down to ceremony too, but I think it's an important part. And it's not even so much going back to the old ways as it is preserving our cultures as we move forward and sharing those cultures rather than getting assimilated into other cultures.
That's the thing. I personally believe across the boards, everyone's losing their cultures of their indigenous ties.
Yeah,
Not just us natives,
right.
but everybody across the boards. We've turned into basically mutts. And by doing that, we haven't been honoring where we come from. And we've lost so much information, so much, stories, so many ceremonies. Um, Basically, who we are in our hearts. We get lost because of that, because we don't have that knowledge anymore.
That's
You know,
interesting. Yeah. I mean, I know I was raised primarily Scandinavian. So at least at the holidays, we had like the full Swedish Christmas dinner with the meatballs and the fruit soup and the lefse and all that stuff. And I've kind of let that go, and it's
yeah,
not like it wasn't important to me, but we're down to two of us at Christmas.
yeah,
It's like, it's a lot of work to go through. And it is for any culture. That's your whole point. It is for any culture,
yeah.
and it's not just at holidays. And I mean, I don't mind the blending of cultures. I just feel like we need to all remember to honor our own cultures in addition to blending with other cultures. And
Most definitely.
I think that that is what actually makes a society strong and interesting and growing, is that we honor our own cultures, and we honor other people's cultures and learn more about them. And when we started this wasn't just for Native people. This was for everybody, for education,
Yep.
and so we definitely welcome people who have things to teach regarding your own tribal native cultures.
Yep.
So as
We
we're
might be
putting on
Native
that on.
American. We might be Native American, but we can talk native cultures from all across the globe.
Absolutely.
Every
Absolutely.
every continent has an indigenous culture, an indigenous population
Hmm.
that has beliefs that
Yeah.
are a little bit more closer to Mother Nature and the spirit worlds and
Hmm.
everything else,
Right.
where it's not mainstream like what all of us have become and got used to.
Right. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I mean, I would love to talk to some African native people and have them share their culture with us and their
Right.
their legends and lore and cryptids and ghosts. And um, I would love to hear more about just the ghosts and the spirits in native cultures all over the world, including Native American.
Yep.
Because like I said, we got off on this Bigfoot thing for a while.
Yeah.
I would like to, I mean, I love Bigfoot, don't get me wrong, but I would like to incorporate some other things into more.
Yep. Yeah. I can honestly say Native as a culture seems like we like talking about Bigfoot.
Yeah.
I went home to the reservation over the weekend to go see one of my adopted sisters and take care of a few things. And right away, brother's talking to me about Bigfoot right off the bat. Like, yes, brother, we'll talk.
We'll talk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, does brother listen to the show? Because we've been talking
Um,
about it a lot.
he hasn't listened to the show yet. He's a little
Okay.
hard of hearing. A little hard of
Okay.
hearing. So, I did send him links to the show. Say, hey, you want to learn some stuff about Bigfoot? Check out these guests that I've had.
Right.
And I also send him links to the Caps page and say, okay, well, you want to learn more about Bigfoot? Here's a property up in Michigan that
Hmm.
we've done a lot of research at. Here's something for you to kind of wrap your head around.
Yeah.
Because we do have, Bigfoot in our culture. We have them in our woods.
Hmm.
He coexists with our tribes in the North Woods here. So, it's only natural
Right.
that we talk about him from time to time, and
Oh,
especially
absolutely.
when we find someone that's willing to talk about it and doesn't think we're freaking nuts.
Exactly. Thank you very much. I mean, because we had Guy from Alaskan Killer Bigfoot.
Yep.
Um, Sean, I think, talked about a little bit, Sean Stevens,
Yep.
and Brandon Cooper and Barry
Yep.
Webster. And
Yep.
so, there are a lot of people and they've all had kind of different angles
Yeah.
on the whole
Different
topic,
experiences.
different experiences. And I love that. I appreciate that a lot. I would love to learn more about the little people in other cultures because I know we have Brandon on talking about that, but I would love to
Yeah.
hear more about the little people in other cultures. And, if we're looking at like the British Isles, where they put out fairy houses,
Yep.
you know, I would love to hear more about that
Yep.
because, as we're talking about the Celts, they were a tribal people too.
Very much so.
Hmm.
I actually am trying to work with someone right now about coming onto the show to
Hmm.
discuss what their knowledge of little people are from the Northwoods here.
Oh, that'd be great.
So I haven't gotten confirmation yet. That's why it ain't on your whiteboard.
That's why it's
You
not on
know,
my whiteboard.
she has to meditate on it and decide whether or
Okay.
not she can properly do it in a respectful way.
Okay.
So,
I respect that.
so do I. And I said, that's
Yeah.
fine. Just, if you decide you'd like to do it, great.
Hmm.
Freaking let me know. If there's a different topic you'd like to speak on, let me know that too.
Yeah.
We're flexible.
Oh, we're very flexible. Yeah. Um, I would also like to talk to people, specifically with some of the North American reserves,
Yep.
about what's happening currently there.
Yeah.
What are the struggles? What are we not, I mean, we as a general whole, but what are we improving on? How are we improving people's lives? How are we assimilating the old ways into the new ways and doing it in a relevant way now?
Yep.
The people who are working with, domestic violence and addiction and the absolutely real things that are happening and how those improvements are being made, but also what's needed to help make those improvements. I would like to be able to talk about, what's relevant and growing in our cultures.
Definitely. I wholeheartedly willing to sit down for that chat anytime.
Yeah, me
You
too.
know, I, being spending as much time as I have on the reservation up north,
Hmm.
I've seen a lot of things go down. I've lost a lot of friends to addiction and lost a lot of friends to lack of good health care.
Yeah,
You
that is
know,
definitely another. And, Turtle Island, let's talk about Turtle Island for a minute. My son's, he was a water protector.
mhm,
He was very much involved in that from an administrative end. And making sure that people everywhere have clean water. And, we can talk about Detroit as easily as we can talk about Pine Ridge. When there's
yeah,
clean water issues, there's a lot going on there. And those are typically communities that are left behind. And I think that that's important to talk about too. You know,
yeah,
um, I would, I mean, I honor Logan every chance I get for sure. And, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at the necklace with the turtle on it, the sea turtle on it, and thinking about him and everything that he was working towards before he passed, as far as
mm,
clean water. And he was also a big proponent of bring our women home, bring them
yeah,
home, because that's another big issue for Native cultures in North America and all over the world. I mean, not just North America, but
yeah,
this is where we are, you
yeah.
know? And so, I mean, I feel like when you have a platform that it should be used to help people in as many ways as possible.
Definitely. You know, in honoring Logan, I know this is a tough topic. Um, for all those out there, we're in a new year.
Yeah.
We all have mental issues from time to time. We all struggle with depression from time to time or stress. If you're struggling, reach out to someone, a friend, a loved one. 988's the crisis number. Call
Yeah.
them. You know, don't take it in your own hands and take your life away. All you out there, you are appreciated, whether you feel like you are or not. You can make it through. Take day by day. If you have to go hour by hour, but keep going. You have so much in front of you in life, and I've been there. I,
I
I've
have to.
I've had 2 attempts, 3 attempts on my life. I've survived every one of them. Woke up every one of them going, "What the hell? I'm still here,"
Yeah.
and battled it. So please, if you're out there struggling this year, reach out to someone. If
Please.
you're a friend of mine on Facebook and you're struggling, shoot me a message.
Same.
I'll talk with you. You know, Heck, you can call me on Messenger. Reach out to somebody. You are loved, you are cared about. And if we all took the time to take care of one another, we wouldn't have this problem anymore. It wouldn't be men and women offing themselves day in and day out.
Yeah.
It's just something that's really, really bothers me. Everything from our young children that are doing it to the middle class to our men and women. We have children out there that don't have fathers or mothers because they couldn't take it no more and they thought there was no way out. And no child should have to grow up without its parents.
Right. Well, and not only that there's no way out, but that they honestly believe that people are better off without them, that their kids are better off without them. And I would say in most cases that is not true.
Yeah, I
You know,
I remember.
fortunately, Logan did not have children, so he didn't leave any
Yes,
children behind. I want to be clear on that. So
yeah,
go ahead.
yeah. Unfortunately, I remember hearing them words come out of my own mouth.
Hmm.
Everyone's better off without me, and it's not the case.
No.
I ain't no peach, I ain't no prize, but you know what? I'm loyal. I'm a friend, and I feel that I'm also an ear or a shoulder whenever someone needs it.
And you're a human being. I mean,
Yeah,
you know, we chose this existence we, and I'm not, I don't want to get down, I don't necessarily believe that it's the wrong choice for everyone, because there are some people who are terminally ill. They know they're never going to get better. And if they decide to end their suffering sooner, I actually respect that. Okay.
I can understand that
You
in
know,
that kind of case.
right. But I do want to say that it's a hard topic.
It is, you know, and we all got to be there for each other. If
Yeah.
you know anybody that struggles and you haven't heard from them for a while, pick up a phone and call them. You might be the deciding factor whether or
Yeah.
not they may see another day.
Maybe.
You know.
Yeah.
So, all
So,
right,
yeah, I
change
mean,
the
it's
topic.
change the topic, but I think it's an important thing to talk about.
It is,
Yeah.
and you
So
know,
there was something else I was curious about. Total topic change because I don't want to sit here and cry. Um,
right? Me neither.
um, there is kind of this belief, and I know you have shared some videos with me of a native comic who was talking about this, about how all native people are super spiritual. And how all native people just have a knowledge other people don't have. Okay.
I
So
have the knowledge that comes on the wind. I hear it on the wind. The
that's the
trees are
radio,
talking to
dude.
me. The trees are talking to me.
It's a podcast that's talking to you, okay?
No, you know,
But I know that you said that, and I laughed really hard at that because that was really funny. Um, but do you think that there are certain groups of people who are more prone to being more, the word that's coming to me is psychic or intuitive, than other groups?
um, yes and no.
Okay.
And here's my theory on this. It's how you were brought up, what beliefs were instilled on you in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
and how much you want to open yourself up to that. I believe everyone has gifts from our creator. It's just whether we choose to acknowledge them and
Mm-hmm.
to use them is the difference between those like yourself and myself
Mm-hmm.
and those that don't use them that have are oblivious to them.
Right.
You know, it, I grew up with it, in my home, both my parents being mediums and ministers. So I had it from early on. I believe in the native culture, when that are raised a little more in our culture, I don't want to say traditionalists because there's really no traditionalists out there. We're not
Right.
running around in loincloths and furs anymore.
Right.
We,
We're
we
not
put
living
on
in teepees for the most part,
yeah,
Some people choose to, and quite honestly, the people I've known who've chosen to don't look any more native than I do.
right.
So
So
yeah.
the traditionalist is what I see it isn't a traditionalist, but
Right.
those that follow the ways of the Red Road and those that actually follow the ways of their culture, and especially in natives, I think are a little more in tune
Okay.
because we acknowledged the spirit world, we acknowledged our ancestors,
Mm-hmm.
we acknowledged that everything living has a soul.
Right.
From your trees to your grass to the food you eat to the animals,
Yeah.
everything has a soul. Everything has a spirit. So if you believe with that from the time you're a child, you're going to be a little more open to things versus someone
Yeah.
that grew up in a city and doesn't know about these things, and all they know is the day-to-day grind of life. They don't know basically what's behind the curtain or behind the veil.
Okay.
You know.
So I'm going to share a different perspective. My grandmother, who was psychic,
Hmm.
um, German, lived in a suburb of Chicago,
Yeah.
was Catholic.
Yep.
and still very psychic. And I, from early on, had psychic dreams or had prophetic dreams as from a toddler on. And I was raised in a very Scandinavian farm town where everybody went. I mean, like the churches all shared a courtyard, you know? I mean, like,
Right.
and they were all brands of Christianity, different brands of Christianity, but we all shared the same courtyard, right? The churches all kind of backed up to each other. And I was my abilities were acknowledged as I was a child when I was a child, but it wasn't part of my environment. I
Mhm.
wasn't raised with everything has a soul. I wasn't raised with any type of connection to my native heritage.
Right.
So,
But you were raised with a grandmother who was psychic and had abilities and acknowledged it and
well, she didn't
acknowledged them
really
in you.
acknowledge it. She kind of hid it. But yeah, I mean, I knew, but I there are other members of my family who swear up and down, Grandma would have been telling you you're going to hell for this. No, no, she wouldn't. Because I
Right.
had that kind of a relationship with my grandmother that I could have a really deep soul to soul conversation with her. And um, yeah, I mean, my family supported me in it just because I think they were kind of afraid not to. I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was so obvious that what was happening was actually happening that there was no denying it. So, but I definitely was not raised indigenous. So,
Right.
yeah,
See, I wasn't necessarily raised indigenous either.
right.
I knew that I was native. I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago originally.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'd get confused between a Mexican being a Mexican in the summer and an Italian in the winter. You know,
Yeah, I could see where both would fit you, and actually, you could also be
yeah,
probably taken for Samoan.
I've never been asked that one before, but yeah, I can see that. You know, the
Yeah.
fat guy. No,
Well, and you're like super tall. You're a head taller than I am.
yeah,
I mean, if you look on our Facebook page and our banner, your head's chopped off
yeah.
because you're a whole head taller than I am. So, yeah.
But you know, that's but I was raised in a home that where mediumship was okay
Mm-hmm.
and it was acknowledged. It was part of our church services. Um, as a child with having the abilities, my parents were scared that I was going to be the outcast and the freak of the school, quote unquote, because it wasn't that wide stream and that acceptable back in the 80s.
Right.
So they kind of had me close it back up and not use the abilities. I always knew they were there, but it's all on what influences you as a child,
Right.
what's allowed to grow when you're a child. You know, and that's where I think you have the natural psychics that come into this world as they're little, they're nurtured along that path
Mm-hmm.
where mom or dad or someone might know about it a little bit, have knowledge, or maybe a grandparent might have been considered to be
Mm-hmm.
a psychic, and they kind of are nurtured that way, going, okay, this is fine, and they're allowed to blossom and bloom.
Right.
No pun intended.
It's a good pun, though.
Yeah,
um, that's interesting because it's not like I was encouraged. I just wasn't discouraged.
right.
And I think that that's huge. I think that not being discouraged was huge because I didn't think there was anything wrong with it until somebody, when I was probably, I don't know, probably seventh grade, said, "Stop being weird." What do you mean being
Yeah.
weird? You know, that was actually the first indication when I was probably 12 or 13 that I was somehow different. I didn't really think I was. I didn't know that. So um, it was never made a big deal of, but it wasn't discouraged either. So
Right.
for me, I just didn't, I assumed as a kid, if I could do it, everybody did it. Isn't that what we sort of assume when we're kids?
Yeah. And there is a lot of children that when they're born. They're open to it because they haven't been corrupted yet by the society and the belief systems that are out there.
Right.
You know, if you ever watch a child and he's staring at the sky and it almost looks like he's trying to communicate and he's smiling with it,
Mm-hmm.
well, chances are, in my beliefs, he's looking at either a loved one that's watching over him or a guardian angel.
Right.
You know, or worst case scenario, he's passing gas and trying to shit, but
Right.
still.
It's that gas bubble grin. That's what that is.
Yeah, you know, but there's been plenty of documented cases where, you know, children have been involved
Mm-hmm.
and the different patterns they match up. And then the house, there might be some kind of paranormal activity, or they might catch something on a nanny cam,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think when we first come into this world, we're in tune with everything. It's just as we grow older, what society accepts is what's put into our heads.
Right. But the thing is, now we're changing that.
Yeah, it's
We're changing that. Yeah.
over the last several years, it's been more
Mhm.
acceptable to talk about these things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know my kids as teenagers, their friends would come over to our house just because they wanted to ask me questions.
Yep.
you know, or tell me
Oh,
about something that they experienced and they knew that I would be okay with them.
yeah.
You know, I would believe them. I wouldn't tell them not to talk about it. Be like, okay, here's your safe space. Open up. It's all good.
Yep.
And I feel like more and more that's happening, and not just with kids, but with other adults as well. I feel like we are in our 40s and 50s. We are the ones who are saying, you know what, it's time to make society a safer place for everybody, and not just physically safe, but absolutely physically safe. We're still working on that, obviously.
Right.
Um, but to make it more emotionally safe, to have emotional, spiritual, mental safety. Because honestly, with Logan, no amount of talking was going to help him because he needed medication he couldn't get.
Yep.
And that's another part of that conversation that needs to be addressed too. Wisconsin's healthcare sucks. I'm just going to say it. And without having insurance, he couldn't get what he needed to stabilize him, to keep him alive. And that is part of the conversation that needs to be addressed as well,
Yeah.
because there are a lot of people
There's,
in that position.
yep. You know, I personally believe that as a country, we should provide all our people with health care and good health care.
Yes, I
You know,
agree.
with the healthcare, when you're giving healthcare to your people, you're investing into their future. And by investing into the future of your people, you're investing into the future of your country.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. And investing into the future of your species,
You know?
you know, I think that's important too. That we acknowledge, first of all, we are all the same species. Thank you very much.
Yep. We all
Yeah,
bleed the same color. Yeah.
exactly. So
We might look different, but we bleed the same.
we do. Absolutely, we do. And this has been a really good conversation, and I hope that having this conversation and putting it out for people to be able to listen to it and be able to add to it, I think is really important. And I hope that we get some really good feedback and some really good um, suggestions.
Yep.
Not only for guests, but for topics. And I know that
Yep.
we've just covered a whole bunch of topics that we've both liked to discuss. And, paranormal is all fun and it's all cool. But the bottom line is, it's not just about the paranormal, it's about our cultures, and it's
Yep.
about us as people, and it's about all people in general, and the sharing and the understanding, and the idea that all cultures are relevant.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, we need to accept everyone for their beliefs. That's
Mm-hmm.
what makes us individuals.
Yep.
That's the beauty
Yeah.
of this country. It's a one big melting pot, and we need to accept each other for it and
Yeah.
learn from each other.
Right. And not all become the same thing.
Yeah, keep our individuality.
Keep our individuality, keep our spirituality, keep our ethnic identity, but do it in peace.
Yeah,
All right. I think
make
this has
love,
been
not war, people.
That's right. That's how we all got to be a melting pot.
Yep.
So, anyway, I think this has been a great discussion. And I look forward to doing this every once in a while where it's just you and me chatting. And
Yep.
I look forward to reaching out, more people reaching out to us and sharing with us what they want to see and hear. And I
Yeah.
think with that, go ahead.
I'm definitely looking forward to that moment. I'm hoping next time that we do this, that we have enough subscribers and viewers that we can do this live so everyone can interact with us,
That would be fabulous.
to hear their
Yeah.
side of things, to hear their stories, and maybe even bring them on.
Yeah.
That's something that we can possibly do. Whether
Yes.
we do it on this format or if we do it on a Facebook format. If you guys would like us to do it on Facebook, on one of our Facebook lives, since we haven't done one since October,
Right.
please shoot us a message.
Yeah.
We can find time to do a live at some point in time so we can bring you guys
Absolutely.
on to discuss with us.
Absolutely. That would be great.
We
That
want
would
to
be
hear
great.
from you. We want your input.
We definitely do want your input. We're doing this because we feel it's important for all of us, not just for Rez and I to hear our own voices.
Right?
So we
I
talk
don't
to each
like
other all
watch.
the time. So
Yeah, I don't need to see each other on the screen to, the conversate. It's
right.
it's for you people out there. It's for everyone.
Absolutely. And so tell us what you want because that's what we want to give you.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Again, subscribe, hit that
yes,
bell, get the notifications, share it with your friends, share it with your family. Let's get this train rolling because there are a lot of people who need what the people who come on our show share.
yeah. Remember, all you listeners out there, you're our tribe.
Yes,
You're our tribe. You're our family, our friends. We want to take this journey with you. We
absolutely.
enjoy when you come back and talk to us about the different things. So please let us
Yes,
know, and
please.
follow this journey with us, and we'll grow as a tribe,
Yes,
and
we will.
we'll learn as a tribe,
Yes.
and we'll be able to help each other as a tribe.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Thank you for that, Rez. And so I am really excited to share this with you, and I'm really excited that we finally got our act together and did this. It
Yeah,
took a while, but we got our act together and did this. And I'm also working on getting this on as a podcast so that you don't have to use YouTube if you prefer to use podcasting. So working on that, and I think that's about it. We can wrap this up now.
yeah. If there's
Awesome.
anything else you want to talk about, and if we're good, we're good.
I'm good.
All right.
All right, everyone. Have a great rest of your day or night or whatever this is for you as you're listening to this.
Yep.
And we love you all very much. Oh, there we go. The dog says we're done.
Yep.
All right.
The
Bye,
kitties are
everyone.
talking.
Yes, they are.
Yep.